Hey there, beloved Ascension pioneers, and welcome to my video update. In this video, I want to focus on self-mastery in terms of those people who call themselves empaths, energy intuitives, and all those words that we describe. And I want to really show the fine line between using that as knowing that we're really sensitive in terms of how to master energy and work with it, even beyond the sensitivity itself, and how we sometimes absorb from the collective and other people. And when we use that, and that reference is oftentimes an excuse. So what does this really mean to say I'm an empath, It means that you have such a wide range of sensitivity that you can pick up on other people's things and even the energy of the environment. And sometimes people say, always check out and ask for permission for others, if you can read them. But when you're an empath, you're just automatically picking up. It's not like that you are tuning into another person without a permission. It's just that your level of broadness and awareness sometimes just it takes in, because you have such a wide range of tuning into things. And this wide antenna, in a way, kind of not just receives from your own source, but it also connects to other receivers. But this isn't always an advantage, and I want to show you how to really move beyond that and work with deeper levels of self-mastery. So the first thing to really say here is that sometimes when I do personal work, I see there's many beings here who are mastering how to really be within your own energy, and then really first anchor yourself deep within yourself by knowing your energy, your signature, your uniqueness. So then when you relate to others, when you relate to the world at large, it really comes from that compassionate state rather than from the state of you picking up on things and then feeling them as they were yours. So what's the difference? The first thing I'm guided to say here is that sometimes when we pick up on things and we don't like them, and we say we absorb other people's energies, and a lot of energy healers say this is something you need to constantly clear, and whenever you come into a certain space, you constantly need to clear. Yes, on a certain level that is true. But when you work with your self-mastery, it means that you and you alone become fully responsible for everything taking place around you. And you are so self-centered, and I don't mean self-centered in an egoic kind of way, I mean centered in the self, that anything that is out there externally becomes an extension of that, and yet it is not a limitation. How do we do that? Okay, the first thing is to know, deeply know and understand without any judgment, that whatever we absorb is something that we still judge. Let's say we absorb something in another, and we say, how did I absorb this? Yes, it means that we weren't really relating to it fully with self-love and a compassionate state with pure acceptance. So when we relate to others and we say, well, I'm mastering my empathic abilities, it means that oftentimes souls, what Spirit showed me is that souls who've come here to this plane of existence, who do have these empathic and deep and intuitive abilities, they still need to master them so they really become fully neutral from within, so that not everything, gets absorbed, and then you have this constant feeling that you always need to clear and cancel and delete, or whatever these people are saying about that, because it's your natural state to already be you. So whenever you have a feeling you need to clear of something, or that you've absorbed something, let's say you go to a mall and you feel, wow, there's such dense energy there, or there's a lot of negativity, I'm picking it up, and you're constantly feeding yourself with this perception that you're absorbing things, and again you are, because you're programming yourself that you are, and then you think, wow, I'm not pure, I've entered the environment that's not pure, or I've eaten something that's not fully pure. Wow, I need to detoxify. You have this constant mentality that you always need to clear, clear, clear. Again, that doesn't come from the fullness of acceptance and true love. True love, divine love, when you come from that state, there is no judgment, there is no resistance to a part that you feel maybe a bit foreign to you and your energy. So because you still have a perception in you that is not fully neutral, you absorb it. There is no absorption when you relate to everything with the fullness of acceptance. So whenever you feel you've absorbed things, ask yourself not what is that in that thing or in that reality or in that person that comes outside of you, but ask yourself, what inside of you caused this absorption to come into being? What took place? What is the energy dynamic behind it? That's where your real answers, your true key for awareness, that's where they are. That's where they reside, underneath the surface. And you can go, when you're a master of yourself, when you know your energy, you can go to any space. You can interact with anyone without the need to always run away or create a boundary or a barrier. We do have those healthy boundaries, but the deeper we expand into our true essence, the less we need those boundaries, because we're just naturally living ourselves and we trust our guidance. So any sense of boundaries ceases to exist because we already live in that state. It's almost like forgiveness. There's no need to forgive anything or anyone when you constantly live in a state of self-compassion, true acceptance of reality. So let's say that before we were truly in that state, a lot of times things came to our reality and you deny them. You said, wow, that's not pure enough for me, so you deny them. In our self-mastery awareness, we ask ourselves, why did that thing come in my reality? I'm going to give you one simple example. Let's say you don't drink alcohol, and one day somebody comes to visit and brings you a bottle of wine. And before, in the old, you might have said, ooh, I don't drink wine. Ugh, get that away from me. It's bad for me. And in the new, it doesn't mean now you're going to become a drunk, yeah? But it means that you ask yourself why that bottle of wine came to me as a gift. And you go deeper with it and you expand and say, maybe it came so that I can consciously work with the energy of wine and see how my inner magician has the tools to transform and work with this energy. And then I see how it affects me and my body without feeling that I have to participate in it, and therefore if it's not in resonance, I push it away. So the whole thing about the self-alchemy is that it's a new level of our beingness. We were used to avoiding things that we felt were too dense for us because we knew we're going to absorb some of it, because we still weren't fully compassionate. But when we truly are compassionate, which also means and includes no rescue mentality, no saving mentality, because you cannot really save anything that already is equally divine as you are. It's maybe in this moment, in this point in time, not as aware that you are. And that's no difference. In the I amness, it is all in that state already. So when we actually, through compassion, praise and honor that I amness and all else, we know that, and we don't feel there's a need that it's even our business to save anything or to rescue or to take things into account that are really not a part of our reality. They're just not on our path, and we make them so. And then we complain about the fact that we're absorbing things. So when you're an empath, go deeper. Don't stop at the label and say, I absorb things, I'm an empath, all of my life will be like this, it's always hurt for me, I'm always absorbing things, and I always need to clear them. Go deeper. This is one state of being. How can you create with the new state of being? This is where our mastery lies. So this is what we will be moving deeper into, and everything that will still show a bit of resistance to us means that there's a part of us that doesn't want to fully accept that. And acceptance also means willing to see beyond the surface. Accepting things as they are, but not in a passive way, but accepting that there might be something deeper underneath the surface that maybe we didn't notice in the first trial. And now Spirit is showing us, look deeper. This is a part of self-mastery that's always going to be there. There's always going to be greater depths, greater things to be revealed. And to really master yourself as an empath, as an intuitive, means that you don't make yourself, a lot of times we say we're so empathic because we want to feel special. But everybody's already special. We're only as intuitive as we're connected to our soul, because the soul is the basis of our intuition, and the inner knowingness is the basis of spirit. And as much as we're soul connected, then we allow that spirit flow to flow through our soul. Divine masculine, divine feminine is one in unity. So when we're truly coming in a relation with other things, through purity, through neutrality, through deep compassion, through acceptance, even our what we call sensitivity or being empathic and absorbing things too much will have the ability to transform when we will be able to look deeper. So who wants to always live that way, that you absorb and then you need to clear away? So these are clues for us. And a lot of times when I do work with people personally, I really advise them to go for the prime first feeling that comes when a certain energy is there, either externally or when you have a new sensation arising within you. It's all the same, because that first prime feeling has the clue for you. A lot of times I notice people say, ooh, but that's not spiritual to think this way or to feel something, because these are labels. And and then these distract us, and we can move into that primal first feeling. And then we only take into consideration that second feeling, which originates from the first one, but it's already a bit distorted because the mind says, okay, maybe this is okay. Yeah, the first feeling is, ooh, I feel something here. And you think, maybe I'm judging it, so maybe it's not good to feel that. And then the second feeling comes and arises from that, which is already a bit filtered. And it says, oh, maybe it's not so bad. Yeah? And the first prime feeling always holds all the keys to your newfound awareness, to changing your inner empathy, to pure neutrality when you work with it. Okay, this is the key to your self-mastery. And another really important thing here is, I want to show you this short exercise as to how call in energy essences through you. Because look, the most important thing we need to learn also in our physical existence, because we are here in this body, is that imagine you standing here. Let's say I'm going to show you the visual by me standing here in this beautiful snow. And where I am now, I'm looking at the trees and the nature and the snow from a very specific perspective. If I change like this, I'm already viewing it another way, the other way, a different way. So imagine that your uniqueness, your universe within you, it's a unique perspective that will always be flowing through you in a way that it won't flow through anything else in creation. So when you realize that uniqueness, you will know that even the soul essences that we say, joy, we say passion, we say creativity, abundance, all of these soul essences, through you, they will be felt uniquely, because that's the level of expression when we are in form. In many different ways of form, not just in this body. Let's say there's other forms of existence too. And when you're in experiential mode, so to say, when you're in this expansion mode, when you're expanding through experiencing creation, there will always be a sense of uniqueness. And even your I am is an individualized I am presence, and then it flows to your soul. And the beauty of your soul is revealed to you through that true empathy, which means that you don't need to absorb other things. A lot of times there was this belief that, you can only heal and transmute the collective or help other people when you absorb their things. No way. Pure awareness, pure compassion means that you don't absorb it. We have a beautiful example of Jeshua when he was healing the lepers, and this was described in Dolores' books as well, that everybody said this is contagious. When he went there, everybody feared it because the disease could be transmitted to them, but not to him, because he didn't absorb anything. He just had that pure radiance, pure compassion, pure understanding, because he was working from his master level, was a master soul, and knew exactly what he was doing. That is why there was this healing taking place, which was just holding the sacred space without needing to absorb something. In knowing that in truth, it wasn't even a state of disease. It was just a soul choosing to experience something for a certain lesson and experience. And with that eye of purity, and then revealing that through that purity, that core truth, then, things will change. And we will never absorb. We don't have to absorb to make things ripple out through our presence, to be compassionate, to send the seeds of love to this existence through our own self. So with this in mind, I want to give you a short exercise how to call in these soul essences and then feel them uniquely through you. Because when you feel how you feel, you completely know exactly also when you absorb something else that isn't completely your own. Because you know how you feel when you're purely you, without any distractions, any distortions, anything external. You know how it is to be and feel as you. You first have to know your uniqueness to be able to feel the compassion for all the oneness and unity. There is no other way. So how can you really know all the other parts? And you don't know, you can get lost in them without knowing a true sense of self. And this doesn't mean the identity with the personalized self, but the self that comes to your soul in a very unique way. So when we start working with soul essences and calling them out, what we do is we call out the specific essence and we ask ourselves, how do we feel when that flows through? And I'm going to give you a few examples, and then you can try this at home. Don't try this at home, they say, but yeah, you can try this at home because it's not dangerous at all. It's just an opening exercise, and what's really important to understand with this here is when you do the spirit activation on that deeper level, is all the rest, how it will come into matter, into form, how it will be specific more for you, it will come naturally. All you need to do when you do inner work is you call the essence to come out. Observe the feelings, the visions. Each one that it comes out, that you're calling it out, might be different. With some, you might get more resistance coming through. With some, it's going to be, wow, full opening. Don't judge the experience. Don't even, I always say, don't even resist the resistance itself. Because it's not resisting resistance is not a negation of it. It's just more resistance. So sometimes we feel, oh, I'm resisting it. And then we feel, oh, that's bad. And I shouldn't. And then again, we resist even resistance itself. So don't do that at home or anywhere else. It really doesn't bring you anything beneficial for your true expansion in your uniqueness of the spark that you are. So let's just, focus on your breath. And when you're doing this, sit comfortably in your sacred space. I'm going to be standing here because I have no other option because everything is snowed in. Then what you do is you take a deep breath. And recently I was doing this in a session with a divine companion. And what you can do is you formulate through your heart and imagine your physical heart and your higher heart, which is a bit around you, above your chest. You feel these two essences merge as one. And then you can tune into the color, the essence, anything that comes forth. But really be centered in it, which means that you call it out and you create this beautiful bubble of that love, of that uniqueness that is you. And the first breath that you take is through the crown chakra, through your expanded self, bring it into your heart. With the out breath, move it out. And then you take another in-breath through that heart, and with the out-breath, you put it out again through the roots, through your ground base chakra. And again, then you breathe from that base, the third breath, and with the out-breath, you push it out into the planet itself, into the core of the planet, so that you and your essence really firmly grounds into the planet. You can even have your own visualization, but it's really important because it means that you're bringing your essence into physical embodiment. That what you will feel, because these essences, we're meant to experience them. Yeah, we're bringing heaven to earth. And our empathy is not just meant to stay here, but we're meant to transmute it, to alchemize it, and make it something beautiful and pure. Not just say, wow, I'm absorbing toxic things and negativity. And, then you're still engaging in these cycles that you call toxic. So when you do that, again, breathe from that planetary core, again through your heart, connect in the middle of your inner vortex, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and then maybe you've written it before, which essences you would like to more feel in your life, that you would like to bring into your life. And you maybe write down, and you just speak it to yourself, essences like abundance, passion, creativity, pleasure, bliss, companionship, partnership, all these things, and then what you do is you can ask somebody else to do it for you if you're doing it in a pair, the exercise, or you can do it yourself. Just speak the word, because speaking it through our throat means that we're bringing it into form as well. And like I said, it's important. We're not staying here. We're moving in the body, and our souls are alchemizing through ourselves. They're alchemizing us like this. It's a beautiful wavy process, which I call soul alchemy. And now, when you feel centered enough and you start stating those essences to yourself, and let's say I say abundance. How does it feel for my soul, for my uniqueness to be abundant, to live in abundance? And how does my soul create abundance? You can ask these questions to yourself and then just take a few moments, even minutes, it depends, however you feel. And what you're doing is that from that bottom core, you're bringing that essence back to the surface. So she can work, or it can work itself through you. It can work that beautiful magic that you are. And as it starts to bubble up, in the beginning it might be intense, maybe it will be intense. Like I said, with some there might be more resistance. Then you just observe. And don't try to control anything, just feel. Maybe it's going to be a picture coming up or a vision. And when we did that exercise with the companion, then the next day, the person said to me, you know what? And then I see this, something there externally that I've never seen before, and it was always there. And because the person called the essence forth to the surface, so the physical thing took care of itself. It came out. It popped out when we called that in. So let's say you want to have more fun in your life. You say, fun. How does fun feel for me? What is fun for me? For my uniqueness. And how does my soul create fun in its unique way? And just feel through it. even if you feel you're not feeling anything at all, your invocation is still calling out the essence to come to the surface. And anything that is felt, remember, true deep compassion is of utmost importance, because it's time to stop absorbing, and it's really time to start living our uniqueness without absorbing things, without being part of things that are really none of our business. Other people are just as divine as we are. Maybe they're not as aware, but you can change their awareness. Their awareness will be in its place in given timing, and maybe doesn't have the same journey as you do. It is really time to stop doing that. And when we have that mentality, what we do is we have a feeling we wish to help somebody through a way of rescue and saving and changing something, without just accepting it and allowing it to change itself, by us just showing the way through our own core, showing, look, it's possible. It's possible I set myself free. It's possible to be abundant in a new way. Not as, we might know it like this, yeah? It can be much more open and broad. And with your example, those who are ready to follow will follow. And when we still have, it can be very hidden. We might, the first thing that come out when we ask ourselves, are we still pursuing that? Many times will be, no, not me, because we really don't want to be fully honest, because we have this fear that it's bad when we do this. And, it's not spiritual enough. Forget that. There is no such thing, because all is already spiritual. You're a pure spirit. Even if a part of you is not aware of it, it doesn't mean it's not true. So why would we separate? In unity consciousness, there is no such thing. And the main thing to know here is that whenever we wish to rescue somebody else or change something in somebody else, it's something that within us feels, there's a part that feels it needs to be rescued or saved, instead of just believing in its limitless nature and its power of its infinite I am. So that's it for today. I hope you're going to have some fun doing the exercise. It looks very simple, but results can be very instant as well. Just don't be attached to anything and how it comes to you. As always, so much love is in power. Enjoying this beautiful white, which is a clean slate for all of us. Nice, beautiful representation. And I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye for now. It is so beautiful to walk through this. And I just wanted to give you a quick visual, and this snow is perfect for this. How it really feels, does it really feel when we can offer ourselves this blank slate, this purity, this white, and to really be knowing that this purity is always here. It's not something that will ever come from the outside. It is who we are. And this beautiful landscape at this time is a perfect representation of that. Sometimes you sink in a hole, just like me when I'm walking. It's deep, and you don't always know how you're going to get out of it, and yet you do. And the focus is that purity. You see the tiny magic, the ripples, the true simple nature of your being. And a lot of beings now, all they wish is that simplicity. And remember, that simplicity already lives within us. So I hope this landscape inspires you just as much as it inspires me. And it's something that can more deeply take us to that new chapter, that new revitalized self, which is nothing but pure magic, pure crystalline nature of our soul.